There comes a moment in life when the noise quiets just enough for you to hear something deeper. A whisper that says, "This isn't it. There's more for you." Welcome back to the Bear Experiment podcast. I'm your host, Monica Clavijo. This is a space where we strip away the titles, the expectations, and the fear and get down to what's real. To the moments that break us, wake us, and ultimately rebuild us into who we were always meant to become. Today's conversation is about something so many people feel, but few are brave enough to act on: the moment of awakening, when you realize that you've been surviving, not living, when the life you built no longer fits the soul you're becoming. Our guest today, Kelly, is stepping into the truth at 54 years old, choosing purpose over comfort, courage over fear, and rewriting her story in real time. This isn't about starting over. It's about remembering who you are and having the audacity to build a life that actually reflects that. If this conversation resonates with you, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so that you never miss an amazing episode. And always remember, we all have a story to share that can help others. Now let's dive in. If you love yoga, fitness, or working out at home, but your knees, back, and joints don't love it back, listen up. The folding mat isn't just another yoga mat. It's the only yoga and fitness mat on the market right now designed with a patented folded seams that allows the mat to fold over and double the cushion exactly where your body needs it the most. That means more comfort, more support, and serious protection from injury, especially your joints, spine, wrists, and knees. Whether you're flowing through yoga, holding planks, stretching, or powering through a workout, the folding mat adapts to you. You're not forced to adjust your body to the mat adjusts to your body. And here's the game changer. The folding mat features built-in guidelines and hand and foot placement sections, so you're always aligned correctly. Perfect posture, perfect positioning every single time. That means safer workouts, better form, and stronger results, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. One mat, multiple positions, maximum comfort. Upgrade the way you move, train, and protect your body with the folding mat. Use promo code Monica at checkout for a 10% discount. That's promo code Monica, because your body deserves better support. All right, all right, all right. And we are live. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us on the Bear Experiment podcast. I'm loving your
Thanks for having me.
content.
Thank you, Monica.
Loving everything you're talking about. I'm totally relating. I'm 49 and I'm also like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be an easier way to life,
Well,
right?
I
And
think you're doing it. You've got this podcast, you're doing
started
it
and
from home, you're
it's
building.
it started 2 years ago, right? So it's definitely a start. You're absolutely right. It's taking those chances and putting up with the haters and the criticism, right?
Yes.
That's part of growth, I feel, right?
I
That's
was even embarrassed to tell what I was trying to do to my son, and I finally just let him have it. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And then I started putting him in videos and making him help me when I needed like a different camera angle. And
And how long have you been like doing your content and talking about your
okay.
life transition?
Okay. So what happened was I was a life coach for teenagers. This was back in 2016 until COVID. And before that, I was the general manager of a bar nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
But I left after taking this year-long course and I started coaching teenagers and I was really loving it. And then I'm a risk taker. So I went all in on a weekend retreat for teenagers and I was going to have, this big thing, whatever. It was sold out. It was coming up. It was going to be on the camping side of Catalina Island. Everything was going great. And then COVID hit.
Mm.
And I lost everything. I was like, oh my gosh, thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt after this because nothing came back. And I had to give a lot of money back. I didn't get a lot of money back. And I was also doing like public speaking engagements and they got canceled for all of 2020, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
in this arena. So then I was like, so talk about starting over. I've started over so many times. So at this point, I was like, oh my gosh. I packed up my kid. We went to go stay with my mom during the lockdown because we didn't know how long it was going to last. And the owners of the house that I was in wanted to give my house to their family. It's just this crazy stuff happening all at the same time. So from Arizona, which is where my mom lives, when the lockdown was, or when it was like kind of starting to open back up, I called my old boss at the bar nightclub and I asked him if I could come back and bartend temporarily till all the weirdness was over. And he was like, "Oh, I want you back running the place." And I said, "Absolutely not. That's not what I want to do. I'm not trying to go back into that." But I also had a mountain of debt to pay off. And so I went back as a bartender. And within, I don't know, 3 months or so, they kind of, brought me back in as like running the whole place again. Um, and it's not easy because they are very hands off and they want, I was doing 60, 70-hour work weeks. I was booking the bands. I was booking the DJs. We have a private event space upstairs. I was booking that and running that. We had, programming every single night of the week. We had all you can eat specials every night of the week. We had, they had these visions. They're like, implement this. And then I was implementing that. And I was doing the
Yeah.
schedules for 60 plus people. I was doing the payroll. I was the HR person. Um, it was, it was nuts. And the only reason I agreed to it is because when my son was 13, 12, 13, he went to go live with his dad in Tennessee. And I went into such a major
Depression.
depression.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even like I can't even tell you. I wasn't eating, or if I was, it was, crap. And
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't exercising and I wasn't walking and I wasn't getting outside. And I threw myself into work. That's when I actually agreed to take on the position because I had said no up until that point. And I was like, well, what else have I got to do?
Mm-hmm.
And
Keeps your mind occupied too, right? That's never a bad thing.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But he was gone for, I mean, I was flying back to Tennessee and he was, and then I was flying him out here for like all summer and all the breaks and everything. We were FaceTiming every day, but yeah, I was a mess. And
So let's set you up here just so that the audience better understands what it is that you're awakening, right? Because when I was following your content and I was kind of going through everything, I was just like she had an awakening, right? It happens to all of us. It gets to a point where we're just like, okay, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? What am I here for? Right?
yeah,
And
exactly.
I know that there's more to my life than what I'm doing. Not that you're doing anything bad, right? But there's more, right? Like you want to leave a mark, you want to leave an imprint in the people that you love's lives, right? So you're 54 years old, right? And
Yes.
no retirement savings, which I think is like, more than half of the Americans that are living today because the world
So
is so
I've
freaking expensive.
so I've been learning with all those comments on that one video.
It's impossible. It's impossible to save unless you're making, $300,000 a year or $400,000 a year, or you have a dual income, right? You're married and now it's both of you contributing to the household. But instead of panicking, you're rebuilding your life from scratch, right?
Yeah.
So you go back to bartending. You need to pay your bills. You need to keep your mind kind of occupied. So what happens to you when you're there, when you just finally say, okay, like I really need to kind of pivot here and I need to make a change?
Well, it's the awakening is kind of like a two-pronged, maybe even a three-pronged awakening because when I was in that dark space with my son being gone, I got really angry with myself because I was a life coach for teenagers and I should know I'm supposed to know like how to handle this, how to get myself out of this, how to, and I was gaining weight. And I finally just that right there was anger. Anger brought me out of that. I got into
Mm-hmm.
this emotional scale from despair up until anger, and then at anger, I was like, "F this," I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to let my son see me like this, and so I got a dog because I knew that Bob
You're the
would make
best.
me get outside and walk every day and give me someone to love. and I brought myself out of it, and I was miserable at the restaurant, but I was like, I can't move forward until I can get into space where I'm actually really happy. And I got myself into a space where I was happy and healthy, and actually looked at all the parts I really did love about my job, the people and the customers,
Yeah,
and I get to
absolutely.
be creative, and I get to, and so then I was in that space for a while, and then I another summer was rolling through. My son was back, and I was like, I don't even my son's back now. You know what I mean? I want to be
So
with my son. I
how
don't want to
long was
be.
your son gone for?
He was gone eighth and ninth grade year,
Okay.
and
So two
and
years?
now he's yeah. So and now he's then he came back 10th, 11th, and now he's a senior.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine. That's got to be difficult, right? Especially if he's always been with you, like for him to all of
yeah.
a sudden go live with his dad in another state.
Oh, yeah, it was awful. And so then I was still working that when he came back. So this past summer, about a year ago, the summer was approaching. I realized then, like, I just hit me. I was like, I don't have another summer in me. They were just piling so much on me. Like, they own another place, and the owner's like, oh, you already booked the bounce for this place. Can you just do it for that place? Like, it's no big deal. Like, just stuff
Right.
like that. Oh, you're
Right.
already doing this, so let's just do that. And I left. I gave him a 2 month notice, but I left. I'm like, I'm retiring from the service industry. I'm not doing this. I don't have a plan.
Would you say that that was like your breaking point at that point, in that
Yes.
moment?
Yes. I knew that summer was approaching. I couldn't do it again. I couldn't, because we're on Main Street in Huntington Beach. We're
Hmm.
busy, busy.
Beautiful.
I didn't have another, yeah, I didn't have another summer in me, and I knew it. Like, my body wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to work 15, 16-hour days. I just couldn't do it.
So
So
you
I
just
left without a plan.
so you leave, you have no backup plan.
No,
You have to have some kind of savings. I mean, there has to be something there.
I had a little bit, but not anything, nothing to live on, and it's certainly gone now. But I thought, oh, I'll just go back to coaching, because that's what I was doing before COVID. And I was doing that. That's when I started. Well, I was doing that. I was doing all the things I used to do, the Facebook ads, whatever. And then in October, that's when somebody convinced me that I needed to get on TikTok, because I was that person was like,
TikTok
oh,
is the place, I'm telling
well,
you.
I was like, oh, it's for the young kids, like, because I hadn't been on there.
Right.
So I was like, oh, it's for the young kids, or oh, it's for, I don't know. I already had preconceived notions, and I thought it was going to be silly, and all I'd seen was people dancing. I'm like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
That was the yeah,
So
that was the big misconception with a lot of like adults, right? Oh, this is a
absolutely
kid's platform. All they do is get on there and goof around and dance.
right. And I didn't want to coach teens anymore. I wanted to coach moms out of a space that I had just recently got out of.
Hmm.
And so I was like, are they even on TikTok? You know what I mean? And I learned that they were. And so I started my TikTok channel back in October, just to have that space for moms of teenagers, and just to kind of start that talking, whatever. And being on TikTok, that's what opened my mind to all these possibilities, like people doing all kinds of things. I'm watching people going, "Oh, I'm doing this on TikTok Shop, and I'm doing affiliate marketing, and I'm doing SGC or C whatever UGC." I didn't even know what that stuff was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video from someone a long time ago going, "If you're a woman in your midlife, we want you to do UGC." And I'm like, I'm a woman in my midlife. What is it? And I even looked it up, and I was like, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah,
You know?
we'll get into that so that you can talk a little bit about how you're diving into the UGC and the TikTok affiliate programs. I've had a couple of Hispanic, you know, uh, I'm bilingual, I'm Cuban, and my experience with just, following and learning, right? That's what I'm doing too, because I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
I'm kind of like in your groove also, right? Like, again, there's got to be something else. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to make more money and be happier. Um,
absolutely.
and find some purpose, right? The podcast is certainly doing it for me, but a lot of these whatever you want to call them influencers, and they just got here from Cuba a couple of years ago, and they're making, 80, $90,000 a year selling affiliate, right, stuff on
Yeah,
TikTok, and they're also doing it with Amazon, but TikTok is the one that's paying the best right now and is getting the best results. And in speaking with them, right, because you kind of see that, and you're like, no, this is bullshit. There's no way that they're making that kind of money so fast. but it's just about not being embarrassed, right? Like putting your
Yeah.
shame behind you, because that's like a big thing. You're going to get the criticism. People are going to be like, what the hell are you doing? You're going backwards in life. And once you get past that kind of that feeling of fear, they're killing it. They're killing it.
Yeah.
They're stay-at-home wives, you know, and it might take a minute, it might take a couple of months. For some, it's taken, almost a year. But when they take off, they take off,
Right.
and it's so motivating to hear them, actually putting themselves out there, and a lot, I was talking to this one lady in particular where she was immensely overweight. She lost, so she completely stopped taking care of herself, right? Like, she fell into a depression. She didn't fix her hair. She didn't do her makeup, right? As we've all been there. And once she started losing the weight, she got into the TikTok affiliate program. And now she's always dressed up. She's always full of makeup. She's so like relatable when she talks right to the audience, like you really feel her. And she was sharing a story where like her sister just put sad faces in her, like in her videos. And it's not because she's sad, it's just because she's crying of the sentiment that, oh my God, look what you're becoming. You're like this
Hmm.
butterfly that's blooming, because you have the courage to do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, girl, you go, girl. I just started doing that too. I started posting little things here and there on TikTok shop. I haven't really had any much success, but little by little. So tell me a
Hmm.
little bit about that. Like, how did you? So that's what you're doing right now. Then you're like kind
Yeah.
of trying to become like an affiliate salesperson
Yeah.
on
Well,
platforms.
I'm focusing on UGC.
So tell
Um,
us a little bit about UGC. What does that mean?
okay, user generated content. And
Mm.
that's where brands actually pay you to create videos for their social media sites or whatever, any promotional thing across all platforms that they want to use it on. What?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching people do this, and then I'm sitting there like, why not me? Why can't I do this,
Right.
and since I've been on TikTok since October, I've gotten a lot more comfortable. Like if you watch my first video, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for
And
sure.
so
The
it
more
just
you
it
do it, the easier it becomes.
yeah, and it took me, starting to get comfortable. And then once I got comfortable, then I had to get to the space where, am I willing to share who I am, like the failures and the whatever.
Right.
And I'm
The
like, you know what?
vulnerability,
Yeah. And
right?
I'm
That's
like, you
everything
know
in life.
what? Who freaking cares? I
Nobody
I don't care
cares.
anymore.
Nobody
I am
cares.
I'm 54,
Yeah.
and I don't care. No one else is out there paying my bills. If this is going to pay my
Thank
bills,
you.
I'm going to freaking do it.
Hell yeah.
And and I'm having so much fun with it. I
It
get to
is.
do videos with, like, I did a vacuum video with my dog that was an absolute blast. And I put my son in the background for a rice cooker video. I'm like, I have a teenage son at home, and he's in the back, like, spooning his food out of the rice cooker, talking about, and you just use what you have, and it becomes very real and authentic. And people are tired of scripted commercials. I think they want, a recommendation from a bestie or whatever.
Well, that's just it, right? Like, when you're watching Brad Pitt do a commercial, it's hard to relate to Brad Pitt. It's hard to relate to a Jennifer
A little
Aniston, and
bit.
just right. But I get on there. You're like, who the hell is she? Oh my God, she's a single mom, just like I am. She's out here
Hmm.
doing it also. Let me listen to her. And that's another thing that these influencers that have started doing this share. They're like, once you start getting comfortable, you start talking about your life, your
Yeah.
personal life. Get on there, do lives or do short cooking videos, right? Where you really engage with the audience that's following you right now, so that they really see who you are. And at that point, you're going to gain their trust, and they're going to start purchasing items that you are recommending, because you're not just selling crap, right? You're telling them,
Yeah.
listen, I've tried this and I like it and I believe in it. Go for it
Right.
also. Have you had any success in the in what is it called? What is it called? The
UGC.
UGC, in the UGC program?
Yeah, so it's funny because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've been watching this. I was watching lives for this one girl, and she's like, I was a paralegal, and now I quit my job, and I'm making this a month. And I kept watching her, and I'm like, why am I continuing to watch her? I'm just gonna freaking buy the course. You know what I mean? So I bought the course literally 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay.
And And in the last 2.5 weeks, the things I've learned, it's insane because the course, it's actually linked in my bio too, because now I'm like all about it. But it's got 24 different streams of online income that are all proven that you can do. Obviously, I'm not doing 24. I
Is
don't have
that
that kind of time in the day.
the TikTok
That's
book that and then it talks about all the other different platforms that you can use?
is it what?
There's this book that they're promoting out there that they're selling in the TikTok shop, affiliate
Oh,
program,
oh no,
and
I don't know about.
it talks about how to become an affiliate
Yeah,
partner, but it talks about all the different platforms, not just TikTok as well. So I
right. Yeah, no, I don't know about the book, but the link in my bio is linked to this course. It's called SWC. It means selling with confidence.
okay,
And it's like it's $596, but you can literally start with zero down, and it has every single thing, like over 24 things you can do online. And it's face forward or faceless. Like if you're shy and you're an introvert, which
yeah,
I'm not, but you still can do this wonderful stuff, you know what I mean? That and make money. There's letter writing. I haven't even opened that. I don't even know what about it, but there's women that are in my course and we are all on the Telegram chat and we all help each other. Like, so I know there's some women in there doing letter writing. They're making like $250 a day, side
what is
hustle doing.
that? What is that?
I
Letter
don't
writing.
know. That's my point. I'm like, there's so many things on here. I'm only doing UGC. I'm starting TikTok shop and I'm doing the affiliate. Three things out of 24 that I'm focusing on because I believe that if you're going to do something right, you need to focus on it until
Yeah, learn
you
it,
can't
right?
just
Yeah,
do you can't
become the
just do
best
a
at it.
bunch of things crappy. You got to do a few things well.
One of the things that I loved when I was kind of really getting into your content in preparation for this interview is how you say that in 2026 there's no reason to be broke, right? There's so much opportunity out there right now. Yeah,
Yes.
anybody that's crying that they can't find a job or that they can't make any money, there's something wrong. You don't want to work then. You don't want to work because the opportunities are out there. You just have to
Right,
not
exactly.
be
And
scared.
that's what that right there is. I was on a live with the girl that I bought the course from, and
Mm-hmm.
she said being broke in 2026 is a choice.
Yeah.
And it was when she said that I was like, I just started crying. I
Yes.
I because it is. There's like if you just have to start and you just have to be willing to look stupid and fail and try again, like and you know what I mean? And there are things I'm learning now that I never thought I would be learning. If it, like my first when I did the first videos like for the rice cooker and the vacuum or whatever. Okay, now I shot it. Okay, I can talk on camera. I can do all that. But now what do I do with it? Oh, I
Right.
have to put it in CapCut and edit it. That was the terrifying part for me. I was like, oh my
Really?
gosh. Yeah. And so this was just last Saturday, a week ago, I was sat on CapCut and I was devastated because I couldn't really get it to do on the computer. Like it's better on your phone. I'm looking at this tiny little phone trying to edit these crazy videos. I
Yeah.
just couldn't get past that. And I'm asking everyone in the chat, I'm like, you're really all doing this on your phones? You know what I mean? And I spent the day, and by the end of the day, I was so satisfied and like I loved what I created. And I sent it to the girl that I bought the course from, and she was like, "Holy shit, girl, you're really great at editing." And I'm like, "That's hilarious! I'm sure I learned today. I learned today."
Through
And then,
practice. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
and
not that difficult. You just kind of got to dive in and, right?
you just got
You
to
learn through
do
the
it. But
mistakes.
if you would have told me like a couple months ago that I was going to be editing videos, I would have been like, oh no.
Right.
I usually give stuff like that to my friend Ashley, who's very techie. And I just go, will you do this for me? Will you do this for me? But I can't be that person. I have to
Yeah.
freaking do my own shit.
Me too. I'm the same
So
way. If I don't do it myself, I'm never going to learn it. Like I'm not one of these people that
yeah.
reads and I get it. No, like I need to apply it. Now I got it, right?
Yeah. And then there's the platforms that you put your portfolios up on and so that you can apply for all these brand deals. And I was doing all that yesterday, and they're like, "Oh, we're declining your picture because it needs to be this or that or this size or
Okay, so
whatever. Oh, we're declining your video."
walk me through that process a little bit with the UGC creator program. I'm not very familiar with that one. How do I even get involved in that, and how do I approach brands then, letting them know that I'm available?
Exactly. So there's a bunch of different platforms. There's Join Brands. There's um, what am I? Oh, Billow. There's Incense. Fiverr is a place you get them to, and also Twitter, a big place, or X or whatever, is a big place for getting these jobs.
Uh-huh.
You go on their sites, and they have different processes that you do, but you upload like a pitch video, like, hi, I'm Kelly. I'm an over 50 content creator from California, and I create style that's warm and relatable. I can really, showcase whatever, your brand or your product or whatever in a relatable manner that women respond to, that kind of a thing. So you have your pitch video, and then you upload your sample videos of things that you've done, like the
Okay.
rice cooker, the vacuum, and a couple of the TikTok
Is
shots.
there like a minimum requirement of videos or time that you should be selling before you kind of approach the brands in order for them to even pay attention to you?
Oh, not at all. You just have to have some videos on there. So you can also add videos. So on Join Brands, for instance, I have my portfolio on there, and then it says, all these things are 100%, like your profile, your about you, you're this, you're this. Okay, content, it's at 52% because I don't have enough. I don't have a lot, but I have some. So I keep adding it as I do it.
Gotcha. So you
Like
keep
later
it in that
today,
platform, and that's how the brands then go in and see kind of what you're
yes, and
doing.
that's just one platform. And then Billow, I'm waiting. It's 3 days for them to go over my stuff and say yes. And then once they say yes, all the brands are just listed, and you just hit apply, 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 and you just apply
It's that
to
easy. And
brands.
is there a fee to join these platforms?
No, no, there isn't. And then yesterday on Incense, I applied to, I don't know, a bunch of jobs yesterday on that platform. And it'll say, a couple of them ask, like, why are you a good fit for this? And I'm like, oh, well, some of them are dog stuff. I'm like, I'm over 50. I have a dog. He's this. One's for you. They want an older dog. Well, my dog is 12, and his name is Bob, and we like to have fun, whatever. And then some of them, they want older people. Okay, why are you a good fit? Because I'm 54 and I've
Right.
lived this, and I've actually used your product. Like, one is for a shoe insole. I'm like, I was in the service industry for many, many years. I'm still bartending. I'm
My feet
constantly
hurt.
spending money. Yes, I'm constantly spending money on things to have my feet be comfortable. I've spent $2,000 at the Good Feet store just a couple of years ago because my feet were so tired, And so I'm like, yes, I'm perfect for this. So I'm waiting to hear back if I get that one. And each video is like, oh, we'll give you $175 for a video, a 60-second video.
So what's
Some of
like what's the average, I guess, payout then once they accept you and they say, okay, yes, promote this product? Are there scales that they work with you based on the content?
there,
How
so different platforms do have that. Like, for instance, Join Brands, when you're newer, you're getting a lot of, like, gifted collabs where they give you free product, and do a testimonial or whatever, that kind of a
mm-hmm.
thing. And then you can apply for brands that pay you more or whatever. But on like Twitter or other whatevers, you can jump right in. Like, the girl that I bought the course from, because I literally asked her last night, I'm like, because she made $7,000 her first month, like,
No, you're
and I'm
kidding.
sitting here looking, yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I want the breakdown, because I'm looking at these gigs. Oh, 175 for this, 200 for that, and that's awesome for a video, especially since
Heck
it's
yeah.
getting easier and easier and easier for me. Like, but how many of those do I actually have to do to make $7,000? And she goes, oh no, girl. My third UGC offer that I got on Twitter X was for 2,500. So there are,
Right.
4-figure deals right out of the gate. They're like, if they like you. So in fact, today, because I'm not on there yet, Twitter and Fiverr are the ones I'm going to go on today to set up my accounts and like start like doing that as well. Because yeah, I want those big ones.
So
And
then
while I'm
basically the way that it works is they're paying you whatever fee it is that you guys agree upon, and then they're using your footage and they're promoting it. So you're out there
Yes,
and they're just promoting it, promoting it, promoting it so to sell the product.
yes,
Sounds
and
easy
with
enough.
UGC, with actual UGC jobs, you give them the deliverables, like if whatever they're asking for, if they want, these photos or this video, and it needs to be shot, in like 9:16 or the, whatever. You give it to them, and then it's theirs. You don't even have to post it on your socials. So that's with UGC, you don't even need a following.
You're just providing them the content and then they're running with it.
Exactly, exactly. Now, if you there are also jobs on those platforms that are for specifically for TikTok shop, whatever. They'll
Right.
actually send you the product, and then you'll make the video and post it, but then they will boost it, and you also get a percentage of the
The
sales,
fees,
because
right.
it's TikTok
The
shop. You know what I
commission,
mean?
right, right.
So for those cases, yes, it would help to have a following, but you're doing one while you build the other, and you're learning this while you're doing that. And the great thing about it is, like, I'm still in the course. I'm learning new things every day, and then I go implement them in real time. I'm like,
Have
oh, I
you
learned this
have you
today.
have you had any success with any products where you're making money?
Yeah. I got two brand deal. Well, no. Okay. So no, it's been 2.5 weeks, but in 2.5 weeks, I've gotten two brand deals. Um, One is for bathing suits, and they're sending me two bathing suits, which makes me
Okay.
laugh because I'm not the bathing suit girl, but that's what they want. They want relatable women, right? And I just happened to be going to Hawaii, and they've
Oh,
approached me. They approached
nice.
me probably through my content or whatever. But I have, one of the things I learned is you got to have your UGC email, and I put that up right away. And I checked it one day, just do. I wonder if I got any emails, and there it was. Hi, we're da da da
So
swimsuit.
how do you sign up then for the UGC program?
What do you?
You're talking about going into these different sites, right? Platforms
Yes,
to
yeah,
apply then for these brand deals. But for the
correct.
actual UGC, you're saying that there's an email then set aside just for that you have
No,
to have
you
on
want
your
to make
platform?
you want to make your own email, like a Gmail.
Gotcha.
Like mine
Gotcha.
is kelly.ugc at
Cells,
gmail.com.
whatever. Yeah.
It's in my bio, so
Gotcha.
that when brands are looking and they see me,
That's how they
they can
contact you.
they can email me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
And they
was,
did. And they're
yeah.
sending me two free suits, and I'm going to make a video while I'm in Hawaii. And then
Nice.
so this is one of those ones where they want it. This is one of the ones where they want it by a certain date because they're having a sale. They want it posted on my socials. It has to stay up for a certain amount of time, which I don't delete anything, so that's fine. And then they will boost it and use it, and I
Mm,
also get a percentage of all the
commission.
sales.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
so that's
one of the beauties of that too is the residual commission then, right? That you keep getting on
exactly.
that item that you're promoting because it stays on your site. And somebody 3 months down the line can order it and you're just like, sweet, let's
Yeah,
go.
my friend Stephanie is doing TikTok shop, and she texted me the other day because once I started doing this, we've been talking a lot more now. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing this. I'm so excited because now we know each other personally, right? Because I
Yeah,
don't know anybody
yeah.
personally that's doing this other than my friend." And she texted me the other day. She goes, "I just made $47 commission on a video I made like a year ago. Like it
Hmm.
just like she goes, isn't that
Yeah.
funny? So I was like, yeah, that's totally funny.
As long as the product is still there. I had success, believe it or not, because I've started, right? I'm a little shy about it also, right? It's about getting in your comfort zone. But I bought this hat because it was like $10. God is good all the time, right? And that one has sold, I've made like $50
Yeah, see, there you go.
off a $10 cap, that I wear at the barn with the horses, and it's
The
just
gift that keeps giving.
yes, I was like, okay. But then, other stuff where I'm like, oh, the hat. If I did good with the hat, I'm going to do great with this light. I'm going to do great with this. Nothing. Nada.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
you just never know, and it stays there forever, and people see
yeah,
it.
eventually. And then another
Yeah,
thing that I read about with the people that are having success, is one product that you have, blow it up, do
yeah,
100 videos of the same product. It doesn't matter because one's going to hit. Right.
yeah,
Especially if it's a product that's going viral, that people are looking into, that there's a lot of, chat about it on social media. And another thing is, with our age, that this is like we get a little like, oh, we're getting old. At least I do. I'm not, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm getting older. My check engine lights are starting to to come on, right? Like, oh, what have I done? You kind of get into that like, poor me kind of mentality. And with all these brands, they're saying that there is such a huge market for women our age right now and like
absolutely.
beauty content, right?
Yeah,
Like talk about, the foundation that you're wearing that, hides the creases underneath your eyes with all the wrinkles that you have or that are starting to show. And women
yeah,
I'm into it. Like I'm like, oh
yeah.
my
I just bought some eye cream. It's like a trio of eye creams on TikTok. Um, And so I'm going to take before and I'm going to take my before pictures because my under bags, I wake up every morning. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, and this one is the worst. This eye right here. I'm like, it's just always there, like all day long. And it's never really been anything I ever really thought about. And so I got the cream. So I'm going to, now that I know that I'm doing this, okay, I'm going to take my before pictures and then I'm going to use it for a month. And then I'm
You
going
just
to,
you just did the commercial right now in front of me. Like this is the bag,
right.
that's always bigger than the other one. And look at the but you have to
I
be
know. And
careful
it's the
too.
same. I have another, I have a TikTok shop video. It was my very first video TikTok shop that I did. I haven't gotten any sales on it, but I still laugh about it because it's the City Beauty eye lifting cream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't use it like anybody else. I only use it on one eye, this eye, because like if you look, I have a lid on this eye. I don't
Yeah,
have
and
a lid on this eye. I didn't use it today because I was like, I had a house full of teenagers. I was just trying to get them out so I could do this. So, but normally I'll use it. I'll use it on one eye, and I'm like, yeah, that way I can even out my
that's
eyes.
funny.
So
Great.
it's like it's stuff
That's your
like that. It's chips and
that
tricks of being 54. You know.
and that's what people are relating to, right? You're just like, see, if I heard that and I have the same situation, I'm like, that's a great idea. Let me try it. Let me see if it works on me. Let me see if it helps me feel better and look better, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then today I'm gonna do. The Monat hair care is like all over
Yes.
TikTok right now, but it's these women with beautiful hair, and so I started using it a few months ago, and I've been taking because I was losing hair at my temples.
Mm,
Just being older, like I had literal bald spots on my
yeah.
temples, and I took pictures of them. I had my hairdresser take like pictures of each side, and then a couple months later, I retook them again, and the hair is growing back in,
That's
and you can
crazy.
see
So
that in the pictures, and it's not
there's
all
a
there yet, but it's
there's
a
a lot
journey.
of restrictions though from what I'm seeing where they are they'll fine you or whatever. They'll take down your page with certain like with products like that,
Yeah, you can't obviously you can't guarantee. You have to use disclaimers. In fact, one of the one of the modules in the course that I'm taking talks about that very thing. Like when
yeah.
you're using
Because
things like that, you
people's
have to
accounts
say,
have been canceled as a
yeah,
result,
you have
right?
to say something like, it varies for different people, whatever, but this is what it did for me. I'm just telling a story. I can tell a story what it did for me.
So
This
you
is what
can
my hair
say
looked like.
that this is what worked for me, but you can't speak in general terms,
I
right?
can't
Like,
say do this. This is the cure for hair loss. You're going to just be having
but
luscious
you can
locks.
say it for yourself, and that's not going
Yes,
to
like
be okay.
like because I haven't made the video yet, but I'm thinking, it's like I'm watching these women with beautiful, gorgeous hair, and I'm sitting here thinking, did they come with that hair? Did this product really do that? I don't know, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for me, it was enough to give it a whirl, and this is what my hair looked like. I had this literal bald spot. This is what it looks like now. It's not all grown back, but there's no bald spot anymore. It's like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. Plus, I used to have a very big chunk of hair at the drain in my shower. And I would just scoop it up and throw it in the trash every time I got out of the shower. It was part of my routine. There's no hair at the bottom of my shower anymore.
Okay.
None.
I'm
No hair.
do you have
Zero.
your link on your page for Monet so that I can buy
Well, I
it?
haven't made the video yet, but I will
Let me
send it to
know so I
you.
can buy it off of
Yes,
you because you just sold
exactly.
me at hello.
I know. So I'm gonna make that video today. And once I get it all edited and up, I'll send it to you.
It's funny because
You'd be my first sale.
yes, and I'm not shitting you. I was taking a shower, getting ready to do my hair because I looked crazy. I had worked out before, and my shower was completely clogged up, and it was a ball of hair. I
Yeah,
was
I
sitting
have
there, I was,
zero hair coming out of my
yeah,
shower now. And
yeah,
that alone, even if I wasn't growing the hair back at my temples, that would probably, because at least my hair isn't falling out anymore.
yeah.
But it is growing back at my temples. So
Yeah, listen, good product is so important, right? Like it really is. There's
yeah,
something to be said about it. And the consistency of just, washing your hair with the
you
same
have to
thing.
use
Yeah.
it. You have to
Yeah.
use it. Yeah, I'll buy things sometimes and they'll sit there and I'll just be like, what the hell did you buy this for? This was
Exactly.
just sitting there.
Yes,
Use
yes,
it.
yes. Oh my God, you're so motivating me right now. So then, what does starting over at 54 actually look like for you day by day? Now that this is what you're doing full time,
Yeah.
because I've also heard from different affiliate salespeople now for TikTok and so forth that if you really want to make money and make this happen, you got to take this like a full-time job. You got to be
And
on
I
here
am.
eight
Yeah.
hours. You got to have a game plan. You got to write scripts. You have to really take this very, very seriously.
I am taking it very seriously. And again, buying the course helped me do that because I can follow along in real time and I know exactly what I need to focus on and when. Like, okay, I'm going to do this first and this second and this third. And then, there's even a module in there on taxes because that's another thing. Like, so many people are like, oh, do this. And then they don't tell you how to run the business aspect of it. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to make money and what do I do with it? You know what I mean? So there's even that even helps, and there's, a chat bot that comes with it that is versed in all things SWC. So you could ask them anything that's covered in the course. It's like having somebody with you 24/7. I'm like, oh, hey, how did what did I ask it yesterday? Oh, it was the one that walked me through. I filmed my videos in cinematic, but when I uploaded them to one of the things, they wanted them different, and I was
A
like,
different frame, yeah, different
yeah,
format.
different. Yeah. In my mind, I was like, oh, great. I filmed the video wrong. It's not going to work. So then I asked the question like, oh no, you can put it in CapCut. You can go to this and you can hit this and you can da da da. And then, so then I learned something new. And now I learned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't have to go down rabbit holes and search for things because this is like helping me answer all the questions within, the
Is
course.
is CapCut what you're using 100% to edit the videos?
Yeah. Well,
So you're
I'm 100% using CapCut unless but then I'll do it to the most part and then I'll put it in TikTok because in TikTok they want you using their songs and sounds. So
Oh,
I
I
will,
gotcha.
but
So
you
you'll
can
edit it in
import,
CapCut and then you'll kind of put in the
yeah, but
music and
you can import songs from TikTok onto CapCut so that you can use them and do them all there. I haven't really learned to do that yet. So that's on my list.
it's a lot. It
Um,
is. It's crazy. That
yeah.
app
So
is,
you can do
yeah.
that, but yeah. So then I'll just like do everything in there and then dump it in TikTok, and then I'll add the TikTok captions and the TikTok
Yeah.
song and whatever.
So then how are you doing it though? Are you on this like 8 hours a
Yeah.
day?
So
Is
well,
this
I'm 5 days a week because 2 days a week I'm bartending.
okay?
Um, and so 7 days a week
We
basically I'm
still we
working.
got we got to
But
pay
the
bills.
Yeah, but it's weird because it I don't feel like I'm working. So before I made the jump to just buy the damn course and get started, I was waking up in the morning because my money was running out. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I'm like, I don't, and in my head, I was like, I do not want to go back to bartending. I don't want to do it. I left without a plan, and now my money's running out. And
Was
I
there like almost like a shame aspect to it? Like shit,
well,
I
yeah,
gotta go
because
back.
I didn't, well, because I was coaching, but my calendar was filling up and it was making me feel like, oh, now I'm stuck. It'd be imagine I'm sitting here doing Zooms all day, like all day. That I didn't want to do that. Not after what I
Right.
just went through at the bar, working 60 hours a week. When I left the bar, I went on a rampage of fun for 3 months all summer.
Yeah.
I was going camping and I was going to the beach every day and I was doing all the things I hadn't done in years. Like I live by the beach and my toes hadn't touched the sand in 5 years
Because you're always working.
because I was always working.
Yeah.
Like, and
I feel you.
there's all kinds of things going on down here in downtown Huntington Beach. And I wouldn't know about it because I'm upstairs in the restaurant bar and people are
Indoors all
coming
the
off the
time.
beach going, oh my God, today was so fun. I'm like, oh, well, here I am. I'm here.
But there's also something to be said about that and working as a content creator, also behind the camera all the time. You're in the house, or you would think that you would be in the house, right? Creating all these videos, there's a lack of social engagement also that you have when you're a content creator, don't you think?
Well, I'm finding that I'm enjoying, well, first of all, I enjoy my alone time anyways.
Hmm.
But when I was working at the restaurant, all I wanted to do was come home because I was in a social environment all day long. But now that I'm doing this at home, I'm more apt to accept my friend's dinner invitation because
Right. Because you're
I
not
can go out.
exhausted.
Yeah, I'm not exhausted and I'm totally stoked to go like hang out with people,
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, let's do it. But you may have to do this, put in the time in the beginning. But like again, like yesterday, it took me almost all day to get all my stuff uploaded and everything on those 3 sites. And then I applied for jobs. So that's basically what I did all day yesterday. But once all that stuff is done, so in the beginning, it's a lot of foundation work.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
But
then you
once
just
all
start
that stuff is done,
executing.
it's done. So then you just start like every time you make a new video, you just add it to your portfolio. You're just adding things. You're not building anything out anymore, and then you take a day, you're like, okay, I'm going to apply to 30 jobs today. It sounds like a lot, but it doesn't take long. You're hitting apply, adding a couple, apply. Okay, that's what I did. Moving on to the next thing. And so it like my girl that I bought the course from, she doesn't work 8 hours a day. She works 3 hours a day,
Right,
and
right.
she's freaking making bank. She just had a $60,000 month.
But she figured out the formula that works for her already.
Yeah, she
Right.
started with UGC, but now
Mm-hmm.
she does UGC still, but she's doing affiliate marketing, and she's like selling the course because she's had tremendous success in it. And
And
that's
with that course
insane.
that you purchased, you said that it was five over 500 and what?
It's $596. I have
Mm-hmm.
spent thousands. I have spent $13,000 on a course once to like build my coaching career. I spent $7,800 on a course to help me with Facebook ads. I spent $3,000 on a course to help me get public speaking gigs. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and why am I not pulling the trigger on this? That is so dumb. $596. I'll
So
make that in a couple videos.
you pay the 596, and how does it work then? I know that you're saying that there's a team, right? That you can kind of everybody that's on there that's doing the same thing, you can
So
bounce
the
ideas.
girls that created the course, they're sisters.
Uh-huh.
One started this space faceless. She's the Shire one. And the other one started in this space doing face forward. And they've been doing, this for, however many years. And so together they created this course. But they're not the ones teaching every module because they don't do all the modules. They got together all these people that are successful in each lane. Like I said, the letter writing, and there's courses in
So
there for
these are all
men. There's
pre-recorded modules that you have access to forever when you purchase
Yes,
this program?
they're forever. You have access. Not only that, but Monday through Thursday they go on live calls,
That's
like to
great.
to help you with all kinds of questions. So Wednesdays they have these onboarding calls. So if you're new and you don't know where to start, also if you just know you want to do something in the space but you don't know what, the course starts with a quiz, and then it gives you recommendations at the end based on your
Ideas
answers. Based on your answers, you should start with faceless, or you should do this or that. You know what I mean? Of course, I
okay.
took the quiz knowing what I wanted to do, and it still told me, "Yep, you want to do UGC, you want to be face forward, you want to be." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, yeah, you're right. That's what I want to do."
Is there a particular like niche that you're looking to kind of focus on 100% with your project?
Well, my niche is basically women my age, and the thing that hit a chord with the people, I did that video that popped off. It's like at 250,000 views, and this
Which
was
one?
just me.
What was it of?
It's I'm 54 and I have nothing to say for retirement.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I've made a
I
few of
think that's
those.
the one that
Yeah,
connected me to you.
so it's got like 250,000 views, and it's got like, oh my gosh, thousands of comments, and everyone is saying, "Oh my gosh, me too, me too, me too, me too." So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, well, that's someone trying to walk in my door. Oh, maybe I'm getting delivery. Anyways, I'm like, okay, well, that's my niche because, and that video is what prompted me to share my journey online. Okay, I'm going to be new to UGC and I'm new to this and that.
Oh, your
Um,
son's there. It's okay.
yeah,
It's
that's okay.
all
He's
good.
fine. I thought he was in LA. Anyways, so that's what prompted me to start sharing my journey. Like I'll get on my stories at night and tell, oh, I did this today and I messed this up and I did, you know what I mean? Or one of the things I shared was, in this space people can be mean, but just, you just have
Yeah.
to roll off, right? So some of the comments on the what most of them are super positive. Some of them are like, well done, you fucked up, like, or some people like on that same video are like, oh well,
Yeah.
I'm this age and I'm already retired and I have millions of dollars because I was smart, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's cool, you know what I mean? That's cool, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not here talking to you, I'm here talking
To
to,
the ones that are
yeah,
going through the same thing that
exactly.
I'm going through.
Yeah, and then
Exactly.
on my Instagram, this one guy, I'm assuming it's a guy because he has no profile picture
Of
and he
course,
has
they
one.
never do. They never
No,
do.
and he has one follower, but
Yeah.
he's like, I'm supposed to take advice from you. You have pale skin and tan teeth. And I was like, what? And then that was on one video. And then on another video, he said, oh, he left the bleh emoji. And it was the same guy on three different videos
Do
on
you block?
Instagram.
Do you block or you just welcome
Oh,
the
I don't
hate?
care.
You don't
No,
care?
no, I don't care because I'm out here actually doing something. And the people that are going to comment negative on what you're doing are the people that aren't willing to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And that is something that I have really decided to own, because I wasn't the person that would sit on her stories at night with no makeup and be like, okay, this is what I did today. You know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, but now I don't give a shit because I'm making it happen, and it's actually happening. And in the last 2.5 weeks, like, since I started focusing on this and just let go all the fear and just be like, you know what? I'm going to trust that I'm on the right path because I feel it. And because I know I'm on the right path, I'm just going to let all the fear go. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to trust that it's going to happen. Universe, God, whatever is totally taking care of me. And the second I dropped that baggage, like, because before I was waking up in the morning like, I'm running out of money. I'm running out of
Anxiety,
money.
that anxiety, that's the worst
and
feeling.
and
That's the
that
worst
is
feeling.
completely gone. And so I know that I am now on the right path. And since I made that decision, you reached out wanting to, talk on your podcast. The bathing suit people, they came to me, dude. I didn't even go to them,
It's
you
like you're
know?
you're telling the universe, I'm ready. Let's go. Bring it on.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just, and then I'm getting comments, people are like, oh my gosh, you're killing it, or you speak so well on camera, or this,
You
or you're
do.
so
You
motivating,
do.
or I'm in the same boat. I love you. I'm following, it's like this is encouraging, and I'm just going to keep going. And also, when you find I feel like I've never in my whole life been doing exactly what I was meant to do.
Yeah,
I've
I hear you.
enjoyed things. I've been an esthetician. I was a sales rep for a skateboard company, um, GM of a bar nightclub, many years bartending. I worked in a battered women's shelter right out of college when I was in my early 20s. I've done a lot of things, and some of the things made me feel purposeful or whatever. But it wasn't until I started this that I am just feeling so much joy. And then that joy took over being embarrassed,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Put
know?
it down. Let me ask you, now that your son had walked in, does he tell you like that he senses a different energy in you since you kind of like got the courage to make this life shift? Does he tell you like, Mom, you're different? Like,
Well, he actually does. But what's funny is when I first started this, I was trying to keep it from him. I would do like videos when he wasn't home or when he was at school or, whatever. And I just felt silly because I was in this space that in my head was like for kids. And then he would make fun of me. But then I was just like, oh, this is so stupid.
yeah.
I told him, and now, like I said, he's in the background of some of my videos. Like, I have a teenage son at home, and he's back there, and he's helping me film, and he's, telling his friends, and I showed him. I go, I got this video, 250,000 views. He's like, wow, Mom. So it's fun to be able to like share that with him. Plus, it's very important for me to model someone that's going after something that she wants, and that I can
Yes.
succeed in it in real time,
Yes.
and that he can see that, because people have to see the beginning, they have to see the mess, they have to
The
see what you're
struggle, the
actually doing,
struggle. But look where
instead
we're
of the end product, like, oh, look at me
right,
now,
right.
you
Like
know
everybody thinks that Michael Jordan was always like this amazing ball player. No, it took a lot of work for him to get to that level, right? And
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful thing to be able to show your own children that, right? Your own child that, like, hey, listen, and especially when they're seeing you struggle, right? They've been with you forever, and I know my kid's seen it with me, and she's like my biggest little supporter now. I have a 16-year-old also, and she's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Mom, you got a podcast? What's it about today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking to a lady about dead people." "Oh, okay, that sounds real interesting."
Exactly.
So, what would you say to a woman who feels embarrassed to start over and she's over 50 years old, right? Because it happens to almost all of us, I feel, both men and women, right? But let's speak for ourselves, single mothers, where you really want to make a shift. You understand that you have a certain amount of summers and winters left in,
Yeah.
in your lifetime, and you want to
Right.
make them meaningful and valuable, and you want to be happy and fulfilled. So, what do you tell that person?
Just do it. Don't let naysayer. People that aren't going to support you, it's only because they feel uncomfortable themselves.
Yeah.
Like if you're going after something and you're starting something new and your, besties or family or whatever aren't supporting you, it's just because you're showing them their lack, their what they're not doing, what they're, you know what I mean? And it makes people uncomfortable and it makes people mad. And a lot of people, especially as like mothers and caregivers or whatever, it's like we want people to feel good and happy, and we've given so much of our lives to that. And the minute
Yes.
that it starts to feel like, ooh, we're making people uncomfortable, and it's the cause, we're the cause, we're not the cause. In fact, keep doing it, because you're going to give them permission to do it at some point. You know what I mean? Because I kept watching this girl's lives, and I finally got mad enough when she said being broke in 2026 is a joke, is a choice.
It's
You know what I
funny because
mean?
that's what
And
I
I'm
heard
sitting here
too.
going, listen to her. You know what I mean? Finally, I said, yeah, I'm going to listen to her. So
Yes.
you just keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Uh, what does freedom look like for you now versus 10 years ago then? Now with your new mindset, right? We all have different timeline shifts, right? We're not the same person we were 10 years ago, right? We've
Oh,
grown and
absolutely.
we've learned from our mistakes, right? From all of our fuck ups,
Yeah.
everything that we've done wrong. So what does it look like for you today versus 10 years ago?
Well, 10 years ago, my son was 8. So I was, home a lot more. And at that time I was, bartending, running the restaurant, all that stuff at the time. So I didn't have, a lot of freedom. Um, so when I wasn't at work, I was with him. So definitely different from 10 years now. Now my son's 18. He's got his friends. He's going to Japan in August for an
Nice.
entire month.
How
Saving
exciting.
all the money himself to go, and just bought his ticket the other day. And I'm so excited for him. But that I don't know, a couple years ago might have been like, what? He's leaving for a month, Now I'm just really excited for him. I'm excited for him to start, his journey, right? And
Yes.
and I think I'm going on a cruise. I'm going on a cruise in July with my best friend. She's turning 55. My 55th birthday is in October, and my friend Ashley and I are going on the Flogging Molly Bad Religion sea cruise, out of
Nice.
out of Florida, out of your neck of the woods. We'll be flying into
Mm-hmm.
Miami. These are things I could never do before, when I was working 60, 70 hours a week.
Of
It was
course.
like the place was going to come crashing down
If you
around me
weren't there and
if
it's
I
not even
weren't
your
there. Yeah.
business at that point, like, what am I doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm spending all this time, and that's another reason why, when my coaching calls were starting to stack up, I was like, I just got out of that. You know what I mean? Where I was working, all the time, stuck, maybe it's not hard on my body because I'm just sitting at a Zoom call, but it's,
Mentally. It's a
it's
mental
mentally,
thing.
it's focus, it's hours, it's me
Mm-hmm.
not being able to go outside on a beautiful day like today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what freedom means to me, being able to go out to dinner with my friends, or, my April, my best friend, she lives 5 hours away from me. I want to be able to get in the car and go spend a week in
Hmm.
her house and
Go
not
hang
give it
out.
another thought. My
Absolutely.
mom lives in Arizona. I want to be able to get in the car and go see my mom and not think about it. She doesn't have, how many summers does she have left? I don't want to be like, I'm working, I'm working, I'm working.
I hear that. I hear that. I'm telling you, I'm right behind you.
And this whole
I
thing about, because when we were young, people go, oh, you work at the same job for 30, 40 years, you get the gold watch,
that's
and then
not
you
the
da da
same.
da.
Yeah, we're not
It's
living
just
in the
not,
same world. We're not living
we're
in
just
the
not
same
doing
world
that
anymore.
anymore.
No, we're
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's not what it used to be, right? Yeah, you work in the same company for 30, 40 years. You get a nice little watch with a nice little pension, and you die at home with your family. Yeah, we don't have that
Yeah, but
anymore.
also, I wouldn't even want to do that. I can't be in the same place for, I obviously I can for years because I was there for 15 years, but 30, I can't. I've done so many different, no, I can't.
But
And
it's
the
what
thing
you're
is,
saying. Every life chapter, right? Your age, when you're in your
you're a completely
20s or
different
your 30s,
person.
it's
Yeah.
a completely different person, completely different priorities. You may not love your job, but you understand that you have a young son who's 8 years old at the time, and you have to make certain sacrifices at that point that you,
Hmm.
at this point, do not need to continue making, right?
I
Now,
don't.
now it's time for me. Now it's time, you
Exactly.
look amazing, right? You're
Thank you.
gonna kill it. You're gonna be 55 now. It's like this is it. This is it. You got who Gary V, I'm sure is, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So he talks about, he's like, if you're 50
He
years
talks
old,
about doing this.
you're just getting started. Like 50 years old, you got another 40, 50 years left, and I'm just like,
Yes.
if you look at it from that perspective, right? Instead of like, oh my God, I'm going to be 60, I'm done. No, you're 60, you look
Yeah.
great, you're healthy, right? Put in the work,
Yes.
obviously. Don't be a crackhead. But yes, if you are a healthy 50, 60, 70-year old, what's to say that you can't continue working till you're in your 80s,
Yeah,
right?
providing you like it, right? Because the
That
last thing I
you're
wanted to do is keep
happy.
bartending until I'm
Ex
80.
exact. The other day I
But
ordered,
this is something I could do. I
yeah.
love it. It doesn't even feel like work.
I ordered from Uber Eats the other day because I didn't feel like cooking. And the guy, it was a little old man. That guy must have been like 80 years old delivering my food. I felt
Mm.
so bad for him because he is probably in the same shoes.
He's in that
Nothing,
boat. Yeah.
nothing for retirement. Life is completely out of control, right? Everything is so expensive. You got to do what you got to do. God
Yeah.
knows where he's even living. I know that a lot of people that I'm talking to are having to go and rent bedrooms, because they can't afford to pay the rents in Miami because
Hmm.
Miami's getting like California, if it's not worse already, with the rent increases and the property values there. They're out of control. You can't afford to live there. I just left
Yeah.
Miami. I was there. I lived there my entire life. I relocated to Orlando. But Miami's, you're looking for a two-bedroom apartment there, a two-two, and easily 3,500, $4,000 a month is what you're looking at to pay for rent. It's
Yeah. Well,
crazy.
it's funny because before I started this and I was starting to really think like, okay, I'm running out of money. I'm running out of money. And I didn't want to like surprise my son. Surprise, we lost our place. So I finally actually got to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be honest with my son and tell him what's going on.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the best approach.
And I did, and he's like, and the last thing I want to do is worry him.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna we're no matter what, we're gonna be fine. But I just wanted him to know what was happening. And I told him, and he was like, well, mom, I don't have to go to Japan. He wanted to give me all the money he saved for
Oh.
Japan. And then that also lit a fire under my ass because
Yes.
that's I told him, I said, that is not going to happen
That
no
is
matter
not an
what.
option. That
That
is
is
not an
not an
option.
option.
Mm-mm.
And then but another thing he said is like, well, why don't we move? And I go, well, first of all, moving takes money. You need a
Right.
first, a last, a this, a that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no, we're just gonna stay here until it works out. You know
And
what I
I'll
mean?
figure it out, and you will figure it out. You'll figure it out. Like you
Yeah.
said, that lights a fire up your booty, right? Like at that point, you're just like, hey, it's either sink or swim right now, and I'm not sinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No, I am not.
Oh, Kelly, you're so motivating. I love it. I'm so happy to be speaking with you. So let's end the podcast then. If someone is watching this right now feeling stuck, okay? What's the first move that they need to make?
Join SWC.
Yeah.
It has literally has so many opportunities there. There are so many opportunities to make money online. Start it as a side hustle. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like start practicing on the weekends.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of people that I've spoken to also that start this, they have full-time jobs, right? We all have bills. You
Exactly.
can't quit right away. But what they do
Hmm.
is when they get home, they go live
Yeah.
every single day for 2 hours.
Yep. Yep.
Every
The girl
day.
that I bought the course from was a paralegal and she was miserable. I guess her boss was just absolutely awful, whatever. And she was working every day. She still had to go home to her kid and husband and do stuff, but she started this and made 7,000 in her first month.
Oh, I love it. I'm gonna look into. You said that you have that linked in your profile and
It is.
TikTok?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that also because I do need a little bit of guidance with that. And I've been reading a lot about the UGC.
Well, there's
Um,
also a podcasts in the course too. Like there's stuff there that could help
oh,
you there.
listen,
Yeah.
anything like I know a lot of people love buying courses and everything. It's just easier. It's all kind of like in one spot that you can go to, but
Hmm.
everything is out there for free, really.
Oh,
You just
absolutely.
got to
Yeah.
Google it, right? Like YouTube,
Yeah.
everything is in YouTube. YouTube is,
What I like
self-help kind of thing.
about what I like about it though is that you can have the live calls every day. I mean, yeah, Monday through Thursday live calls. You also have, a group, an area where you can put, everyone that's doing it with you
It's
is
kind of
like,
sharing
oh,
their
I found
experiences.
this. I found this that works. And oh, don't do that. I had a problem with this. Oh, you know what I mean? So I'll go in there. I won't even chime in. I'll just read what they're saying and go, oh, okay, good to know. I'll take notes. I'm like, oh, that person made that mistake. I won't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So then there's that. And then the girl I bought the course from, she gave me her home phone number. So
Awesome.
I'll just text her questions. I called her once. I'm like, hey, are you busy? And I'll just ask her quick. She goes, yeah, no, girl, da da da. You know what I mean? I'm willing to do the same thing. I'm doing that for my friend Stephanie. She goes, oh, you're doing so good. I'm watching you do this. And she's asking me questions. I'm like, absolutely, let's all help each other. We're not gatekeeping. Let's
That's
freaking
right.
help each other because there's something out there for everybody. And I sell to totally different people than Jessica or Stephanie or whatever.
Yeah. No, and the opportunity is here and now. It's not to say that it's going to change in 5 years, but this right now is a huge opportunity to make some serious money and
Absolutely.
possibly be able to save for retirement, then moving forward and doing other things that spark your interest, right? As you get older.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
go, girl. You got a supporter here.
Thanks.
I am
Thank you.
following you. I'm going to look into
Thanks.
that course as well. Do you have any final thoughts? If somebody whoever's watching this that wants to reach you, that's vibing with what you're saying, how can they contact you?
Well, I'm on TikTok. It's kellyhall.reinvents. Um, that's the best place. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram too at kellyhall.reinvents, but I really haven't really done much with it. I just kind of opened it up and kind of sat there or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's where I'm
Okay,
at.
cool.
And my
So at
email's on there, so you can email me if
yeah.
you want.
So at the so this will be up on YouTube, and I will always post at the very end in the comment section how everybody can reach you as well. So I'll put your Instagram and your TikTok links just so that it's easier for people to start following you and contacting you if they want some support, right? Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
we need our girlfriends to be our cheerleaders
And
sometimes when we're
honestly, it's
starting
the
off.
coach in me too. I can't help but help.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, really? You need this? Oh, I'm there.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is your sign, girl. You're doing the right thing. You know, you're speaking to people. You really are. And I saw that also in the comments, how people are replying to you. So keep doing what you're doing. No fear, right? Just move forward. There's no other way to look at it.
Absolutely. And you as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, your Saturday afternoon, and I wish you the best of luck. I'll continue following you as well.
Thanks, Monica.
Okay, Kelly, take care, honey. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.